Welcome CSE 102 to PP05. This is our last PowerPoint exercise. This is actually using Google Slides. For anybody who only has access to Google Slides or for anybody who wants to try out Google Slides, this will be a little bit different than the one I do with PowerPoint because we do have some limitations using Google Slides, but we're going to try it out. And what I'll do is I'll just show you the original one. Now, I've done this one for a number of years, and it's probably due for an update anyway, but I use this vapor trail theme because it works for Mac and Windows, and this is a horrible looking piece of clip art up here. But anyway, this is using the vapor trail theme with some horrible clip art up here, and this is the title slide, and this is a slide about Microsoft Word, and you can see it has a little icon that's thrown in here, and over here it has a structure where it kind of has a subheadline, it has a bullet list, and then it has a numbered list, and we're going to format that. And the idea of this exercise is to use the slide master. And in Google Slides, they call it just the master. And it doesn't work as well as it does in PowerPoint, but we're going to try to work with it as much as we can. But this is the basic structure. So once you make one, and again, you're going to see what I learned in Word, and there's going to be 3 bullet points. In the last bullet point, try to just add some things here. And it doesn't matter what you have. I'm not going to be reading all these and looking at them. I just want you to format it so it looks nice. And here's Excel. And again, we changed the color a little bit here. We kept this the same as the theme, so it has like a nice subheadline here, bullet list, numbered list, and then same thing here. We didn't even put a numbered list down here on this one, and then it just has the end. You don't have to use anything like that, but that's the one we've done in the past. And again, it's not really great looking, but it's just kind of like a little overview. Now, what we're going to do in Google Slides, here's a sample. I just worked on this because I never did this before in Google Slides, but I'll present it to you just so you could see what I ended up doing. And I used a theme in Google Slides, and I used this kind of blue theme here, and then I threw some graphics in at the end on the title slide. But it's going to have a title and a subtitle for the title slide, and you can see I put a transition in so it flips around. And then there's Google Docs, and I used kind of a blue color. I kept these red bullets in here, and there's kind of red bullets, and then there's a numbered list, just like on the one we did with the Microsoft version. And change the color, put a graphic in here of the Google Sheets logo, use kind of a darker green, lighter green look, bullet list here, and kind of a numbered list down here. And then Google Slides, use the same kind of color format of Google Slides with this orangey kind of color, and same thing. So that's it really. You don't have to put in animations if you don't want to for each of these things. Just the transitions between the slides is fine. So that's what we're going to try and do. Here's the end slide, and that's all you have to do with that. So that's what we're going to try and do. I'm going to escape out of here, and I'll keep this open in case I need to look at it. And I'm going to start this from scratch. So you can start it from scratch, and this is probably going to take 2 videos. So this will be part 1, because I don't think I'll get through this whole thing in just one video without being super long. So we'll try to do this in 2 videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and just go File New. This should open it up in a new tab, so I still have my other tab over here. And this is what you're going to start off with, and we did this before with some other exercises. And the first thing you're going to want to do is pick a theme. And you could pick any theme, but if you're going to do what I'm doing, you might as well use the theme I use because it's the best one I could find out of here, at least for what we're doing. This one is called Geometric because it has blue in there, and I thought that would be, kind of technology oriented. So I'm going to click on that one and use that theme. And then you could close this up. You don't have to keep this open. So I'm going to use that theme. And before you start typing anything in here, we're going to go into something called the Slide Master. To do that, you're going to go to Slide, and you're going to go down to Edit Master. And what you're going to see here, and this is the way it is in PowerPoint as well, somewhat, and you're going to want to click on the top master up here, and you're going to click up here. And this is just kind of a sans serif font. It's called Roboto. We're going to make it Roboto Slab. And I'm going to use extra bold here. And then I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'll make it as big as I can. Maybe I'll put it up to maybe something like 36 or 38 just to start. Now again, we're going to have different headlines in there, so that doesn't matter that much. And we could change these later. Now this first level here, let me just show you this. We're going to have some issues with this in Google Slides. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip this one, and we're going to start this being the first level. And I'll show you why later. But so we're going to have one bullet level that's going to have these red kind of blocks here, and then we're going to have another level that'll have these numbers. And then when we go into the regular slide, we'll fix this because we can't do it exactly the way it's supposed to be done. So we're going to just kind of fudge it a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'll just call this PP05, and it's kind of an office review. So it's fine if it just says PP05. So I'll just do it like that for now. Now, anyway, I'm still in my master here, and I'm on the top one. Be careful not to go down here. Make sure you go on the top one. This is the one that controls all the other ones. So I changed this font to a Roboto Slab Extra Bold, and I kept it the blue color because that's coming from its theme. And then this first level here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this Calibri. If you have Calibri, I'm going to go to Calibri here, and I'm going to make it bold, and I'll take it up to maybe 30. We'll see how that goes, or maybe 20, 28, something like that. We'll see how that goes. And I'm going to leave it black. It's coming up black, and that's fine. Now, to change this bullet, now there's a lot of weird things with the bullets. You might go over here and try to do stuff, and they don't really give you any options here. So skip that for now. What you're going to do to change this bullet is I'm going to click right on the bullet, and I'm going to go to Format. And over in Bullets and Numbering, they have another thing that says List Options. So they don't have the list options when you use the bullet over there, but they have it here. So I'm going to go down to List Options, and I'm going to choose a square one. And then to change the color, it's real easy. Just use the regular text button, and I'll just make it red for now. So that's all I need for that. And then the second one here, it's highlighting this whole thing here for the second level, and I'm going to make it a number. First thing I'll do is make it bigger. So I'll take this up to, let's see, maybe around 20 might be okay. And I'm going to make it Calibri. Calibri shows up a little bit smaller. You can see it looks a little bit smaller, so maybe I'll make it like 22. So this was like 28, this is like 22. That should be okay. We could change it later. And then this bullet here, again, you have to do it this way. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to Format, Bullets and Numbering, and if I go to List Options, I'm just going to use the number 1 here. That just means it's going to be a number. And that's all I want to do. Now, they don't even have a thing here to change how the indent, so I'm just going to leave it at what it is right now. And actually, it's lined up pretty well, so that's fine. And the spacing, I found that even when I change the spacing here, it doesn't update when I get to the regular slide. So I'm just going to leave that alone. So this is first level, this is second level, and we're going to have a level in front of it, except if I try to do that, I can't take away the bullet here, believe it or not, in my slide master. So I'm going to do that. So other than the type, I'm going to change the background color and just kind of give it a little bit of an off-white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on the back and do Change Background. And I think we used this before for an image, but I'm going to change the color. And if you can't see the color down here, you can move this around. So I'm going to move it up here. I went to Color and I went to Custom. And I'm going to just kind of move this thing, the hue slider, that the hue is the color of the rainbow. I'll move it to more of a yellow color, not too much into the green, but a little orangey yellow, and then I'm just going to move this thing over a little just so it gets like a nice cream color up there. So just a nice light cream color for the background, and I'll hit OK. And I'll hit Done. And that looks good. It makes a nice warm background with this dark blue, and it just tones it down a little bit. So that looks pretty good. And when I'm done with this, at least this is the master. This is the template that's working behind the scenes. And when I'm done with this, what I'll do is I'll close out of it. Now here's my title slide, and I'm going to click here because remember these are like placeholders, and I'm just going to put CSC 102 Intro to Technology. And down here I'm just going to put Spring 2020, and if I want to change the color a little bit, now I didn't change this on the slide master, but I could just highlight it here. And what's nice is I could go to my text color here, and I could use the same custom color. And that looks nice, so it's a little bit of an off-white on the dark background. And I could leave this white, so that looks okay. And then we're going to probably put some graphics in here later. We'll do that all at once. So we're going to put some kind of graphics on here to fill up this empty space. Now we're going to add our second slide. And remember, we're just going to make one slide, and then we're going to duplicate it. So I'm going to go here and add my second slide. Now you could hit the plus button, or you could go and choose title and body. So either way, if you just click plus, it'll add title and body. And what I'm going to do up here, like my sample, I'll just type Google Docs, and that looks fine. And then here, notice it's showing up in just kind of a dark text, and I'm going to use that for now. And I'll just type what I learned. Now, I know you didn't learn a ton of things in Google Docs because I didn't really teach Google Docs, but I just kind of did some word thing. I'm going to leave it like this for now. I'll change this later, and maybe I'll just put like an ellipsis or 3 dots there, and I'll hit return. You could do it this way. You could say how to apply indents and spacing, and then if you highlight this again, if you put it in bullet formatting, it'll do that. And then hit the increase indent. And I'm going to do that again, increase indent. So it moves over like that. And that is showing the 28. So that's actually what I want. That's actually the way it should be. Now this is the same way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this. And I'm going to go and I'm going to make this. And it's important that you do this first before changing this. Because now I'm going to go back and change this. And I'm going to make it that Roboto slab. And if you have to hover over to get to here. And I'll just make it bold. Actually, that's what it is. And if you want to change the color of this, do it after. Do it after you just start this here. But I'll go and I'll do it this color. And if you go in here, there'll be some colors right from the theme. So I'm going to choose that light blue from the theme, like that. And again, if there's too much space here, we could fix that later. But how to apply indents and spacing. What else did we do in Google Docs? How to use the header footer. I think we did that with the research paper. And I'll put how to set tabs. That's something fairly easy. And now if I hit return here, I'm going to hit the increase indent again. And now it works the way it should. It's automatically going into the number formatting. And how to set tabs, let's see. Click on the ruler, choose left, right, or center tab, and drag into position. Now again, we could fix the spacing a little bit later. If you click on here, if you double click, you can see there's a lot of spacing here. And again, here's something that's odd. I'm going to take a little of this spacing out here. And what I'll do is I'll just go in here. And you don't have to highlight the whole thing. And I'm going to go to Format, Line Spacing, and I'm going to first say Remove. I'm not going to go to Custom. I'm going to say Remove Space after first paragraph, and just remove that. And actually, that's all I need to do. And everything here looks okay. If you need to make it any smaller, you can. You could go back to your Slide Master and make it a little bit smaller if you need to. Just for example, that's what it's for. So right now it's 28. So if you went back to Slide, to Edit Master, and you went on here, and you highlighted this, and it was 28, and you wanted to make it maybe 26, you should be able to do that and hit the X. And if you come back here, it should be smaller. It should be 26. Let's see. And it is. It made it smaller. So even though it doesn't seem to look it, it is. So that made it smaller there. So the whole idea of the Slide Master is that you can basically control your entire PowerPoint presentation by going back there to do it. So you don't, if let's say you had 20 slides here, you wouldn't have to go and edit every 20 slides. You could do one. You could basically edit the template. So now once I have this will be fairly easy. It's just coming up with things to write in here, and I don't care what you write in here. Now once you have one here, there's no reason to go start from scratch again. What we could do is we could right click on this and just say duplicate slide. Now this one's easy. I'm just going to go on to the next one here and say Sheets, and I'll say what I learned in Google Sheets. And some of the coloring things I could change right on here. I could go here and, well, let me do this one first. Since Google Sheets uses a green color, I'll go here and make this green. And I'll just choose this like second up green. And then I'll highlight this, and I'll follow this kind of concept of using a lighter green or using a lighter color. And I'll just go up here and I'll choose a lighter green. And then the red looks kind of out of place here. It had a nice contrast on that one. But I'll go here and I'll just use this thing and find a nice green. Now I can maybe use a lime green. That's kind of neat. And that's about it. Now, this isn't what we did in Google Sheets. So in Google Sheets, we said how to, format cells, how to use the PMT function. We did that with our mortgage thing, and how to create charts. So those were 3 things we did with Google Sheets. Highlight the data, insert chart, and I'll just put choose type, and then I'll say format chart, comma, add titles, data labels, all that kind of stuff we did on our charts. So then we kind of formatted and made it look nice. So that's what we did with Google Sheets. I'll leave this graphic like this over here. So that's fine for our second slide. And for our third slide, I'll just do this and then we'll take a break. I'll duplicate this again. And this one I'll call Google Slides, and I'll make this Slides, and I'll use kind of an orangey color here, maybe a dark orange down here. I'll try that. And then maybe a lighter orange here. It's kind of brownish though, but I'll make it kind of a lighter orange. And these, maybe I'll do these kind of a bright orange since I'll just use a regular orange there. So that looks okay. And in Google Slides, what did we do in Google Slides? We learned how to insert images, how to use the Slide Master. That's what we're doing right now. So hopefully I should remember how to do that. Choose a theme. And again, you can create your own master. You don't have to use a theme, but we're editing a theme. So we're choosing a theme, or we're going to slide, and then it was like edit master and make changes to master slide, because that's what we're doing right now. So I'll fix this up. So that's good for now. So we don't have to save what we're doing. But right now we have our title, we have our Google Docs part, we have our Google Sheets part, and we have our Google Slides. And what we're going to do next is throw some images in there, and then we'll do our transitions and just put an ending slide here, and then we'll be done. So that's the end of part 1 of PP05 using Google Slides, our Office review.